there is an epidemic of being offended in America today. I'm Michael Whitehouse. This is Michael's Motivation. Some of you may have been offended in my opening statement there. And the thing about offense is that there are certainly things worth being offended about in our world. I was listening to NPR this morning. They were talking about the Trayvon Martin case and how George Zimmerman was acquitted. That's a pretty offensive situation. So there's definitely things worth being offended about, but in your personal life, very often when you are offended, it is because you are taking offense to something that was not meant as offense. Now, I'm a fan of Hamilton, the musical, as everyone in America is required to be by law. And in it, they talk a great deal about the dueling culture and how that all worked. And, the 10 dual commandments. And there's multiple times in there where there can be an apology and reconciliation, and the duel doesn't have to go forward. So what can happen? You say something, and someone says, I am offended by that, I demand satisfaction. You can say, whoa, I wasn't trying to offend, I was just stating this, I didn't realize that would upset you so much, I do apologize. And then it's over, there's no duel, that's the end of it. In our modern culture, that option doesn't exist. So what'll sometimes happen is that somebody will go to a person, I'll go to someone and I'll say, hey, I got this information, I think that your project may be off track, you may want to change these things, I think it could be a problem for our organization. And they say, what, how dare you interfere in my project, or how dare you say that I don't know what I'm doing? No, I'm just bringing you information I thought could be valuable. Now they're getting offended. Instead of learning from what I'm bringing them, they're getting offended, they're getting threatened, and nobody's better off for that. So my advice to you is, if somebody says something, gives you advice in a way that's offensive, and sometimes the way they present it. I've spoken to people in their late 30s who get really offended with someone in their 70s calls them kids. An organization led by older folks. The younger members may feel belittled and talked down to when someone says, you kids. But in a lot of these organizations, when an older person says kids, it's complimentary. They're excited that there's younger, energetic people in the organization, but younger people often take offense at being referred to as younger. But it sometimes is simply a difference in culture, how their generation communicates, how their race communicates, how their community communicates, and it's not meant to be offensive, it's simply the terms they use. So before being offended, stop and ask yourself, was that meant to be offensive? Or maybe even stop and ask the other person, did you mean that to be offensive? Were you I feel like you're talking down to me when you call me a kid, but I don't really like it. I wanted to get your take on that. And they'll usually say, oh, no, I wasn't trying to offend, I was just joking around, or that's just how I talk, and I'll try to be more careful in the future. So there's no reason to ruin friendships, create acrimony, and most importantly, miss out on valuable information because you choose to be offended rather than gain insight from the information being presented. I'm Michael Whitehouse. Do something awesome today. And of course, always be sure to click the share button.